Now we're rolling. Welcome back to Orlando Out of Context.
What's up, people?
It's been a minute. We've been actually on the road traveling.
Enjoying life.
It's hard. It's hard to do these days, but I think we're finally getting there.
Yeah, I've actually been doing a little bit more traveling than I expected, even though my birthday, I didn't get to do anything.
So what happened? You kind of had a bust out birthday, didn't you? Like you had a ton of plans and then shit went south.
What happened was, so I actually was supposed to go to Colombia for my birthday, and that got canceled because my friends all flaked out. I was still cool with it. I would have been like, you know what, screw it, I'll still go have a good time. But I ended up just staying here at home and then having dinner with family, and I actually got to enjoy some magical dining stuff for my birthday and just have fun here.
You hit it hard with the magical dining, didn't you?
I did.
So just a heads up, magical dining has been extended till October 17th. So that gives us like about 2.5 extra weeks of being fat.
And fabulous.
We should go check the...
You know what? Fat. P-H-A-T.
P-H-A-T.
Pretty hot and tempting.
You ever have any baby fat clothes?
Oh, you mean the brand Baby Fat? I thought you were talking about Baby Fat. I was just like, God, that was like when I was like 2 or 3 years old. Like, what are you
Baby
talking about?
Fat, like back in the day.
God, I haven't heard about Baby
Fat.
That
was kind of popular for a minute.
Long time. Jesus, you're taking it back like way back. How about some FUBU?
Yeah. Oh shit, FUBU. I think the FUBU might be coming back. The Jenko jeans. I've been seeing some people wearing that shit.
That is actually a trend with women clothes right now, like all these big baggy jeans.
Yeah, a tiny waist but big baggy legs.
Yes, I've been seeing that because my mom and my sister had it when we went to our New York trip. I'm like, Mom, what are you wearing? She's like, oh, that's the fashion. I was like, okay, well,
okay.
I had no idea. So
live your life. So we got off track. What were we talking about?
We were talking about magical
getting
dining.
Fat. Yes. We should check the reservation for Sharks and see if there are any. We were trying to go to Sharks.
Every time I've checked, there was never any except in the afternoon, and it didn't fit any of our work schedule.
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
So where did you go? What did you eat?
So
Let me live through you.
I actually went to Vincenzo's based on your recommendation.
Yes.
That wasn't my first choice. That was my second choice. My first choice was Capital Grill, which I got to go to also, by the way. But Vincenzo was really, really yummy.
That's what you did for your actual birthday, right?
September 10th on my actual birthday, we went to Vincenzo's with the family, and the server, I didn't understand him at first because he didn't speak fluent English, but after a while we got used to understanding him. He was a sweet older guy.
What did he speak?
Italian. He was actually Italian.
Oh shit! I was gonna be like, why didn't you just speak Spanish to him?
Okay, not all servers are Latinos now.
Well, I mean, we just have a lot of Latinos here in Orlando.
I know. But no, he's actually an Italian from South Italy. Like I think Sicilian, he said.
It's legit there.
He was.
Nice. Okay.
So I actually ordered the lobster ravioli. It was really, really yummy with that what do you call it? The that spicy red sauce, basically. Arrabbiata, I think it's called.
I'm not sure. I'm not really a fancy food eater.
Yeah.
I'm a very basic bitch when it comes to eating, unfortunately.
But it wasn't that spicy at all. I did feel like they kind of skimped me on the shrimps. There was only like 2 shrimps on there. I'm like, damn. Like,
I think that's the Italian way, though.
Really?
One of my favorite comedians, Heather McMahon, she is obsessed with Italy. She just took a trip to Italy, and she's one that will like go and have these like 10-course meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and she'll post about it. And that's what it is. Like each little plate is only like a teeny, like basically they take 1 spoonful of pasta and kind of twirl it and then put like 2 or 3 shrimp. I just think we're just conditioned here in America to be fat.
Yes, that's true. We need our portions to be big.
Even though, the shrimp is really the protein. So can't really go wrong with the protein.
Not only that, but the actual ravioli did have actual lobster filling in it. So I think that's the reason why. But overall, it was really good. I actually had their meatballs as the appetizer. And then, of course, the limoncello cake for dessert. That was heaven. And then I had it with the limoncello shot. So it was a good time. I got to spend time with the family. I got a lot of gifts gifts that I wasn't expecting to get from my family. And
Like
then
what?
a bunch of clothes.
Oh, nice.
A bunch of clothes, which, you know, when you're older now, you appreciate clothes more, you know, than what we did when we were young. So
That's the truth. I used to hate Christmas. My grandma would buy tons of clothes, and I would always know that it was in the same box, like, you know, like the department store box.
Yes.
So I would always never want to open those ones first. We're like, let's open these other like weird shaped boxes because I don't want the clothes.
Well, for many years, which will probably happen again this year, I normally get a lot of undershirts, socks, and underwears for Christmas. And, you know,
And
growing
socks,
up,
yeah.
and I would hate it.
All
but
the
now
essentials.
I appreciate it because you're right. There's essentials. That shit costs money. So if I don't have to worry about paying it, I'm all game for it. So
So what else did you eat? You went to Vincenzo's, and what else?
and then I also did because I really wanted to do Capitol Grill.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I actually went. Like I mentioned to you before, I'm very picky with my meat. So all types of meat, wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
So yeah, so all types of meat. But so I went there and I actually got the filet mignon, the filet mignon. And let me tell you, like, even though I asked for it well done, it wasn't burned, but it was cooked properly. I know some people like it medium rare, and see that pink. I'm just the type of person that I can't see any pink. Even though I saw a little bit of pink, but it wasn't like one of those drippy, wet pink, you know?
I think the quality of the meat also kind of factors into, you know, if you do want it cooked a little more, if the meat is good, then it won't be dry.
It wasn't
even if
dry.
you cook it through.
It was nice and moist and wet. It was juicy. It was really yummy.
All right, moist, wet, and juicy.
It really was. It was nice. There was no fat in it. It tasted very yummy in my mouth. The cream spinach was delectable, and even their mashed potatoes. It's like I had like little chunks of the actual potatoes and like the potato skin in it, and that cheesecake. Oh my god! It was like a brulee cheesecake.
Creme brulee.
It wasn't cream brulee, but it was kind of like that because it was like the sauce was kind of like whipped, and then they used the sugar, you know, the scorched sugar on top. It was, I'm telling you, it was really, really good.
Nice.
So I really enjoyed it.
So if you're thinking about doing some magical dining, get out there. We now have extended till the October 17th.
October
so
17th.
Do you think you're going to go any more places? You think you're going to try to go to Il Molino?
Yes, that was one that was supposed to be on the list for last week, but my friend, she backed out.
Stood your ass up?
These flaky ass mofos.
Shit.
Always flaking on me. If not, then maybe you and I we can go together because you haven't been to any of the.
No, I haven't been to not one. So
let's go one together.
I want to go to the Hard Rock Cafe too. Not the Hard Rock Cafe, but in the Hard Rock Hotel. That place in there I want to go to.
I don't know which one that one.
We
is.
talked about it on the last episode. The menu looked appetizing to me, so maybe we can look that over.
Let's plan it out. Then that'd be kind of fun. So you were actually traveling too, because I know you and I, we've both been kind of traveling lately. You went to Pennsylvania. Then,
yeah,
right?
I went up to Pittsburgh to visit my family. I was hoping for some like cool fall weather.
Okay.
But I did not get that. It was like, it was nice one night, like nice where I was wearing like a sweatshirt. Other nights it was hot. Me and my parents, we actually went to a haunted house up there, which excited me because, you know, I don't know, I didn't do, like, when I was in high school, I didn't really do the haunted houses. Like, I went to a few, and then, you know, I moved here to Florida, you know, I don't know, maybe my second year of college. And so I've been mainly experiencing Halloween in Florida, which is so different. You know, you grow up thinking that Halloween is cold, and you go to hay rides and pumpkin patches, and it's like a whole scene for Halloween. So we went to the 100 Acres Manor, which is like a walkthrough, and it says that it's, you know, like a Travel Channel favorite, and it's, you know, basically a popular one. So we went there. It was about, I don't know, like a 30-minute walkthrough, and it had like 6 different themes.
It wasn't like crazily packed where you couldn't enjoy it and get scared or anything, or no?
They sent us through like party by party. It's not like at Horror Nights where they just send you in a big endless
sucked.
line. So there was that, and then we paid for the VIP, and then we got there like as soon as it opened. So we actually ended up being like the second party to go in. And the people that were in front of us, I think that they went out at an emergency exit because
Really?
like we lost them. We didn't see them. So we ended up being basically getting to go alone because
See,
they
that's
sent
the
us with
best.
the two people in front of us, and it was like a, I don't know, like 11-year-old. And I feel like he got scared,
Yeah.
and him and his dad just dipped out the side exit.
What did the VIP include?
It just got us into the house before everyone else.
Okay.
So basically there was two lines, the VIP line and then the regular line. And it was crazy. Like, you know, when you go out of Orlando, at least to the town where I live, everything is so cheap. Like, when I went online to buy these tickets for the haunted house, the VIP experience was only $40.
And how much was
And the
regular
regular,
one?
I think, was about 20 or 25. And it's like you go to Horror Nights and you go to like Howl Scream and it's like 60, 70 up to upwards of $100. Even though it's a bigger event,
Yeah.
it's still like it's just such a different
Yeah,
world
but they can't
outside
really
of the
charge that,
tourist
yeah.
area.
They can't charge $50-$60 or more for like
Yeah.
haunted houses. But at the same time, at least with the VIP, you got to go in the front. And the fact that those people left early, you got to truly experience it. Because like you
Yeah.
said, with Halloween Horror Nights, that's the one thing I hate about is going through the haunted houses is you have all those crowds and like you can't really get enjoy because like you want to get scared, but you see the people in front of you that they're coming out. It's like, okay, great. Well, they're not going to scare me now. Like,
Yeah.
that kind of sucks.
You know what would be cool if they built a house where the people who were in the house could basically switch spots. So there would be like little hidden back pathways. So they could jump out in one spot and then go back in the hole, go underneath, pop up another
See, that'd be
hole,
cool.
go in a tunnel, pop up another way.
They kind of do that at Halloween Horror Nights. Not that extreme like you're talking about, but they do like pop in different directions. Because I remember when I went last time, it was the same guy who scared me from behind. Go a little bit further down, he scared me in the front. So they kind of do that, but not every single house.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm sure they probably do if they're built like if the pathway takes you, say you're in one room and you come down and then you turn a bend.
Yeah.
Maybe that middle hallway, this guy, he can jump out in the left room,
Mhm.
jump out in the right room.
Well, we got to see. That's something that we'll talk about shortly too, as far as some of the haunted houses out here. But that was pretty cool that you had a chance to go visit family, check out the
Yeah.
haunted house. Anything else you do up there?
No, that was
No?
it. I
Just
mean,
kinda
just chill with my family, chill with my friends, and eat a lot of food.
Good
I
food, though?
I mean, I didn't eat a lot of food. I just ate more than I normally do because, you know, I had to hit all the spots.
Yeah.
Like the spots, my favorite spots that I don't have here.
I mean, you're on vacation. That's the whole point. So,
Yeah.
might as well.
Just try not to eat too much. You know, I still got to think about my
True.
fitness goals, but I mean, I guess for a couple days is okay.
As long as you had fun, you got to have a nice change of scenery, get out of Orlando for a little bit. That's what counts,
That's
know?
what it was. So how was your New York trip?
Well, the New York trip was actually great. I actually decided to go to New York for my mom's birthday because her birthday was on the 22nd. And my mom hasn't been out because of the whole pandemic and stuff. So I was like, you know what, Mom? She likes New York. I was like, let's go to New York. So we booked hotels. Thank God I booked 2 hotel rooms because, you know, I knew this, but I didn't realize how small. But those rooms in New York are small.
Really?
Yeah. It was small compared to like the rooms that I'm used to, like here, like in Florida, you know, like in Orlando or Miami. And so I got 2 rooms. It was my sister, my mom, my niece, and myself. So I stayed in one room with my sister, with my mom, and then my sister and her niece. So with my niece. So it was good. We got to do all the touristy stuff. One of the main things that I've never
Did you
done-
see the naked cowboy?
Yes, we did. And we saw a naked cowgirl, and that bitch was saggy. That bitch was old.
Her titties was out?
Her titties were saggy. Of course, they had pasties on it, and her ass was like saggy. And then the naked cowboy, I even asked a friend of mine. I was like, is that a new naked cowboy? Because he looks run down. And he's like, no.
He'd been there for a while.
That's the same naked cowboy. And even though his face looks run down, that body's still on point. I'll give him that.
face looks run down.
his
You've
his
been through
face
some
looked
things.
run down, and his underwears were like, kind of dirty. It looks like he's been out all
Ew.
day. Yeah.
God, the amount of money that he gets from tourists, can't he get like a
Like,
a
take
10-pack of
minute-
Hanes?
Yeah,
God.
go change, every like couple of hours. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's disgusting. Now, was he wearing like fancy underwear? Like,
No, it was just whitey tighties. And I remember back in the days, I didn't say anything, but this time it said the naked cowboy on the back of his underwear, and it looked kind of dirty. Not because it, like he, crapped his pants or anything. It's he's out there all day, probably sweating.
disgusting.
Because we actually stayed in Times Square, so that was the first spot we hit was Times Square. Then you had like all of the other little.
So, did you see the ball? Did they leave the ball up there?
I did.
Is it like the new ball or it's 2021
small. It's
ball?
2021 ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 2021 ball. They haven't switched it yet for the 2022.
Part
yet.
of me always has wanted to go there and like be a part of that at
Me
least once in my
too.
life. But then part of me watches those assholes on TV shivering and cramped and I'm like, ugh.
You
But
gotta
did
wear
you
adult
see last
diapers.
year they had little pods set up.
Really?
And I think they had some kind of contest. Either they had a contest or they gave away the pods to vaccinated healthcare workers who had been working through the pandemic. So they
Oh,
were
that was pretty
allowed to
nice.
be in these little private pods. So
I bet that'd be expensive.
would be
as
nice,
hell. It'd be
but-
expensive. That's actually on my bucket list to do, like you said, New Year's in New York. But I've heard from people that you once you get there,
you
you're
can't
stuck.
move.
You can't
So
move.
it's like,
you gotta wear an
where are you
adult
going to
diaper.
be?
You gotta do your business in that adult diaper, and then go on with your merry way. So
And then you can't eat or drink
No.
either?
I want to be having a nice buzz for New Year if I'm gonna do that.
But the thing is, like, you can't really drink because then you're going to have to pee.
That's
You
true.
know?
That's why you gotta wear
At
an adult
least
diaper.
if you pee, you can pee standing up. You could take like a cup or something.
Yeah, but where am I gonna pee at if you're in the middle
Take a
of the crowd
cup.
and you're literally like you gotta just whip it out with everybody there and put it
Yeah,
in the
we'll
cup?
just cover you.
Nah.
We'll get in a little circle.
I'll wear my adult diaper, but I don't think I'm ready just yet to crap on myself. or
Not
pee on
crap,
myself.
but
But
pee.
think about it. Like if you have to go, if you're out all day, like come on.
See, I don't really have that kind of issue. I could go all day without pooping, probably.
Ugh.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it, but I think I want to like maybe find like some type of special VIP and pay an arm and a leg just for that once in a lifetime
Or just think about
experience.
being in one of the really nice hotel rooms that have a view.
Yes, that too.
That would be probably perfect. So you'd be
Yes.
sitting down, climate controlled, food delivered, private
Alcohol
bathroom,
delivered.
alcohol.
Yes, don't forget the alcohol. But New York was fun. One of the main things that, because I've been there before, so I did some of the touristy stuff like the Statue of Liberty,
Yeah.
the memorial for 9/11.
That's
all
something
that
I
good
want to
stuff.
see. I've only been in New York City once.
Yeah. So the Statue of Liberty, what I would recommend doing is taking the Staten Island ferry boat that takes you from, Manhattan to Staten Island. They do have a ferry boat that takes you to the actual Statue of Liberty Island. I forgot the name of it right now, but it was like $30-$40. And I'm like, why the hell am I going to pay $30-$40 when I can just literally get the free ferry boat, which is free, to Staten Island? It literally goes right in front of the Statue of Liberty.
So then
you
why
can
do
see
they
it.
have another one that charges?
Because it takes you to the actual island so you can walk the grounds of it. But you can't go up. The crown where you go upstairs, it's closed. It's not open to the public. At least when we were there, it wasn't.
That's something I want to do too.
Yeah. And then once we were there, we went and walked over to the 9/11 memorial, saw the charging bull. You got to rub his balls for good luck.
I wanted to ask you about that. So, when I'm swiping through dating apps,
Yeah.
I frequently see pictures of men standing beside that bull,
Yes.
and I've never known where it is or what it means.
So it's actually in the financial district, so close to the memorial, 9/11 memorial. So once we left, I got off the ferry boat because it's in the south part of the island. We walked over there. It was like less than half a mile. It's supposedly for like luck and prosperity.
You have to rub the balls.
Yes, you gotta rub the balls.
Did everyone in your family rub the balls?
The line was too long to rub the balls. So
Seriously,
I
was a
figured I could
fucking
rub
line?
somebody else's balls instead for good luck. You know,
There was a line to
there was
rub
a
the
line
balls.
to rub the balls. So there was actually a line in the back to rub the balls, and there was a line in the front to take a picture of the ball.
Wow. Was
Yes.
somebody monitoring it, or it was just kind of self-serve?
It was pretty much self-serve. People wanted to rub the balls. They went in this line in this queue, and the non-ball rubbers were on this side. So I guess we were non-ball rubbers. But I rubbed his balls a couple of times in the past, so I'm good to go.
Okay. Is there a name for the statue or
The charging bull.
the charging bull?
The charging bull, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
But it was pretty cool. After that, we did the Brooklyn Bridge, walked through the Brooklyn Bridge, ended up going to Brooklyn, had pizza there. That pizza was delicious. So that place was called Rosa's Pizza, and it was a ravioli pizza. So it was a cheese pizza, right? And they actually had cheese raviolis on it with the sauce, and then we added chicken on top of it because my mom loves chicken on her pizza.
That sounds good.
And it was really, really yummy.
It was square
good.
or round?
It was the, a circle pie, and of course, the triangle slices, but they were big. And one thing that I really like was visiting the vessel, which is that new honeycomb shape.
Oh yeah, I've seen that
building.
in pictures too.
It was gorgeous. It's like a bronze copper color. What really sucked about it was that it was closed to go walk and see it from the top.
Because of COVID, or?
Not because of COVID. I don't know what it is, but I was reading in the news that a lot of people have been going up there and actually doing suicides. I think they might have now closed it down because of that. I don't know. But we got to see that, and then we went to the new building to see the Edge, where it has the beautiful
I was gonna
views.
say, I've been seeing that on TikTok.
Oh
The
my
Edge.
God.
You went up there?
Yes.
I didn't see any. You didn't post any pictures
I posted
up there.
it. Oh,
you
on
did?
Facebook. I didn't post it on my Instagram.
I don't have the Facebooks.
I have them here. I can show you the pictures later.
Today the Facebooks was down
Oh my God, yes.
for a long
Dude.
time.
So
I heard.
like my
And the
mom
Instagram.
and my sister messaged me about that. They were like, "Hey, I think the Wi-Fi's down. Can you check?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm freaking at home. Like, I'm working from home. I don't know if your Wi-Fi's down. Ask Dad to check it." And so then my sister messaged me, and then some of my friends messaged me, and then like I'm pulling up the news, and
I was this close to cussing out Verizon because I've been having issues with my Verizon service. I was at work.
Yeah.
And I've been having these issues where I have like full bars, like 3 bars, 4 bars, but nothing will load.
Nothing works. Oh,
And then
God.
I was like, fuck you, Verizon. This is it. This is my last straw. I'm finna change to AT&T. And then I realized like that my other stuff was working, like my Snapchat and the Instagram or the web browser was loading. So then I Googled it and I read that.
Yeah.
But it said what? It said it was because something happened.
So I don't know what it was. Just it was a worldwide shutdown, and this is the first time that this happened. It's the longest worldwide outage ever. So it was Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and other stuff within Facebook that pretty much Facebook owns. And I was getting the tea, girl. So I was looking online, and they were talking about how funny how the issue happened less than 24 hours before this whistleblower named Francis Haugen is supposed to testify against the social media giant. I guess there was complaints about how Facebook owns research shows how it magnifies hate and misinformation, leads to increased polarization, and that Instagram specifically can harm teenage girls' mental health. This is according to what the article that I read online
It's also
said.
harming men's minds because they think that girls are supposed to look like
That's
that.
what porn is about. That's harming men. I read another article about that too. I was bored today since I didn't have any swiping to, on
you
my
had to
Instagram.
actually educate yourself.
I
You had to actually do some
I get my
research?
education and news from Facebook. What can I do? So
Luckily, I was at work while this was going on, so I really didn't. It didn't affect me much, but it's okay. We all need a break sometimes.
Right? So they finally got back up like around 6:30 tonight. So we're all now have Facebook, and we can all survive the outage. So, I mean, if we survived many years and decades of not having social media before it came out, then God forbid a couple of hours we don't have it.
Though I think that you and I are the last generation of good human beings. Like we have seen the world without the internet.
Yes.
And now we have like I feel like I stand on a line
Right in the middle.
where I look to the right and I see all these assholes who cannot live life without the internet constantly.
Yup.
And then I look to my left and I remember how my childhood was, how it was to talk to people on the phone, to sit and have conversations
Yup.
with your friends, to play card games. You know, I miss that.
The only time you really start playing card games or board games now is like if you have a freaking hurricane, because we throw these quote unquote
or we
hurricane
played some
parties.
games during COVID when we were
or
really
when
bored.
we were quarantined. Yeah, so that's the only time I remember playing, you know, actual games or drinking games, but that's different.
But in college, we played a ton of cards. I mean, me and my friends used to play cards all the time, drinking games with cards,
those were fun.
flip cup.
You would get really messed up with some of those drinking games.
Did you ever play the game Kings?
Kings, what was that one?
So you used to like every card for every card there was like a thing. So each card, like I don't know, it would be aces, you had to do this, and kings, you had to do this.
I did play
and then
that.
this card, whoever drew it, they could make up a rule. So that when the card came out, everybody had to do. So you as the game progressed, you had to remember all the things.
And being drunk didn't help.
Yeah. Oh God, I missed
remember
that game.
I forgot that it was called Kings. I don't remember the name of it, but I played that game.
I miss it.
We're young, but we're getting old, so it's like kind of like teenagers if you think about it. We still are adults, but you know, because like you said, we're like the last generation where we got a taste of the good old days, but then we're also the first generation to get into all of the technology.
Because I would say, I don't know, when I had my first cell phone when I was a junior in high school, but this was, I'm talking like Nokia. Like
mine was a
black
penny,
and white.
a penny phone.
Yeah, all you did was call. That was it. There was no.
Well, mine had the Snake game on it.
Oh yeah, Snake Game. Let's not forget about Snake Game.
I love that game.
Shit.
So that was my first one. It was a Motorola. Yeah. It was 1998, I believe, or 1990. I graduated middle school, my 8th grade going to 9th grade.
You had a phone in middle school?
Well, like I said, for my graduation of 8th grade going into 9th grade for high school. So
that's early.
Yeah, so I got it, and it was a Motorola flip phone.
Yeah.
But it was like really big and bulky. The battery would die. And then I remember the new Nokia came out where they had like the Snake game, and it was like in color finally. So it was like, you know, the big thing. So.
Oh, yeah. And then probably like my later years of college was when the world finally got a phone with cameras on it.
Yes, and then touchscreens.
And then it was all downhill from there.
2007 is when the touchscreen came. I remember I had this, it wasn't an off-brand, it was a Samsung, but it was basically a bootleg of the iPhone, and it was so much cheaper. So I never got the first iPhone. I got the Samsung one. I forgot what it was, but it was decent, but and then I stuck with Android for a while, and it was kind of shitty. So then I was like, all right, let me go back to Apple, and I've been with Apple since.
I used to love those phones that had a full keyboard, like, because I have
like the
fat
phones
fingers.
Where you can kind
yeah, where you flip it open,
yeah,
and then you have the full keyboard of real keys.
Yeah.
So you know, it took me a lot to get off that phone, but I was like, I gotta go to this iPhone, and I never looked back.
Well, they're bringing back the flip phones. They have those new touchscreen.
I saw
as like the flip phones, but it's still all touchscreen.
Yeah, and
it
has
pretty
like
cool.
a crease in the screen.
Yeah,
where it
has a
opens.
crease in the screen, so you can make the screen bigger and stuff. And I think you might have like the touchscreen full keyboard on it too if you like put it to the side.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? You know, things change. I mean, at the end of the day, so you know, got to keep up with the technology. If not, then we're gonna be held back.
That's right. We don't want to be like our parents.
Oh my God!
Asking
or our
for help
grandparents.
to do this or that or the other thing.
My mom is now finally learning how to do stories on Instagram.
Look out, Instagram!
Right?
She was already messaging us on the Instagram.
Yeah, so I told my mom about me doing
and
this.
then I responded to her, and I didn't know that it was her.
Yeah, yeah. So my mom was starting messaging. She's looking at all our stories and liking them and stuff. She's like, oh, yeah, when did you do this? When did you do that? I'm like, the other day, Mom, like, give me a minute. Like, I got to make videos and post it on the social media later on.
Oh, your number one fan.
Number one fan.
This week we've been kind of busy. We had a really busy, probably like last 2 weeks. We went to some media nights.
Yes.
We did some Halloween stuff. So our next episode, we're going to be talking with Dina from Orlando Halloween Guide. So we'll give you the full lowdown on Halloween stuff on that episode. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about what we did this past probably 2 weeks, week and a half.
2 weeks, like 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a
Yeah.
half. The first one was Scream and Stream.
Now this was awesome.
Yes.
Okay, let me preface, because you didn't do this last year,
No.
correct?
No.
Last year, this was in a completely different location. This year, it's in the parking lot of the Oviedo Mall. And it's like, if you went last year, it's not anything like it was last year. It's really organized, and, there's stations involved, and there's like a really good storyline that comes across. And it's very interactive. If you have teens, I think they would really like it a lot.
Oh, yeah. I was actually surprised because when we first
This was your first drive-through experience,
the first
right?
drive-through experience.
You didn't do any last year?
I didn't do any during COVID last year.
Okay.
No. I was like, when we first drove up to the Oviedo Mall, I was like, why the hell are they having it in a freaking parking lot at the damn mall? Like, what is this ratchet shit? That's what I at first thought.
That was
about.
your first impression?
That was my first impression, and then like it looked like it was just a bunch of like little things just set up. I was like,
yeah, don't be misled.
Where's the decorations? Where's all the scare stuff? Like, how the hell are they gonna scare me? But let me tell you, those mofos, they did scare
You was
me.
screaming. I got it on the video.
Yes, and it was really cool. The only thing that I would say that it's a downside to it would be the driver. Because you're driving, and of course of liabilities, you have to stop.
There's rules that the driver has to follow.
Yeah, there's rules that the driver has to follow, so they're not allowed to you can still
fully participate.
Like for example, like you can do like the laser. They give you laser guns so you can shoot like the zombies and monsters. The driver can't do that, but the driver can still see everything and get skirted at it. I got skirted at it.
There's some surprises too, so be ready.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend that one. It was a lot of fun. Like my first meeting, that was cool. I had a really good time.
You painted. We
I
painted a little bit.
Yes.
Did you know? I don't know if you ever saw, but your painting won the vote on our Instagram.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes,
I painted a vampire, and you painted
I painted a freaking bloody snowman. And yes, I meant bloody as in like the English term, but then he was also bloody. So, and it like it was dripping with a pile of blood on the side.
Maybe I'll repost those again on Instagram.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool,
remember.
and then we had some fun drinks and food. So it was a good time. I had a fun time doing that.
Yeah.
I definitely would recommend that one. The other haunted house that we did was the Haunted Road. You know more about this because you did it last year.
Yeah,
as well.
so last year, if you want to go back and listen, we actually interviewed with, I think Jessica was her name. Yes. One of the creative directors over there, and she told us a little bit about the process, how they went about making it and everything. And they actually are back for a second year in the same spot. And it's an awesome spot.
Yes.
It's like a farm.
Yeah.
Like, really, when we were driving the attraction, there were animals.
Yeah.
What was that? It was like a cow, and it was like
It was a goat. There was a goat.
Yeah, it was
there.
a goat, and then we saw horses.
Some horses. I think we saw like a deer too. I think like a small deer that was there too.
So
and
it's really secluded. Yeah, there's cornfields. It really gives you that up north feel.
Yes.
Like if you're used to a northern Halloween with cornfields being secluded, animals, all that stuff, it's cool. There's a little bit of a different storyline, so make sure you read that before you head out for
because the storyline seems a little bit confusing, but I think once I read what they wrote on the website,
it makes more sense.
Understand what the concept of the Haunted Road is, which it definitely helped.
So basically, they're saying that they found out last year that the property is haunted. So all the employees that worked the event last year, I guess they saw a lot of like ghostly activity on the property. So this year during the event, you're going to go ghost hunting.
Oh yeah. So you're going to have different things going on in the different stations. So it's kind of similar to the Scream and Stream where you have like the different station where you park, then you have the different actors there and you get scared, and it was pretty cool. So
and then at the end you park and there's a barn experience if you want to buy an upgrade.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll leave that up to you to.
The only thing that I know
have
you
some
didn't like and I was
suspense.
okay with was the smell. It
Oh.
literally smelled like a freaking barn. It smelled
It
like straight
smelled
up
like death.
ass.
Like, it smelled, yeah.
Like animal ass.
Like, I wouldn't even say, I don't know how to say that it smelled like death because I don't really, I guess I kind of know what death smells like
Yeah.
because I have been around death,
yeah.
but it just smells like rotting flesh.
Yes.
It doesn't smell like shit.
Well, there were some parts that I think smelled like shit, like where I was standing at, because there was a bunch of all those damn animals. It did smell like shit
Yeah.
outside. So the barn smelled a little bit like shit to me.
But it's all part of the experience,
Yeah, because you're outside. You're
That's
in
one of my
nature,
favorite
it's
things
a barn,
for a
so-
haunted house is when you get all of my senses involved. And my favorite
That I
scent,
think would have been okay without to not have.
smell is my favorite. It's my strongest sense.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the attention to detail. And they're going to have food there in that little area. A bar. So it's a place where you can kind of just chill. And I don't think they had that last year. You just
No, I didn't.
exited there was no like after party. So keep a lookout for those activities. And then most recently,
the most recent one that we did was whores in headphones.
Not
I'm just
whores.
kidding. It's not whores. I'd like to call it whores, but it's horror in headphones.
and this is by Phoenix Tears Production. It's a small production company, and they do various activities throughout the year. And this year, it's in a different spot than it was last
Yeah.
year. I didn't.
Where
get
was it last year?
She told us, but I forget.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But where were we? This was far.
This year was in Eustis.
This is kind of far,
Eustis,
so
Florida.
this will be a little bit of a trek. It's at Santa's Farm.
Yeah, Santa's Farm, which that was pretty cool. I like the farm. It was
The setting was
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
The pumpkin patches were cool. All of the damn Christmas trees were cool.
So you're going to wear headphones, and it's kind of an
Yes.
audio interactive experience with the actors in the show. And there are two different experiences. One of them starts with putting you on a hayride and taking you out into the middle
Yes,
of
that was
the
cool.
field. And that's so cool because being in Orlando, we're just always surrounded by lights. We never, ever get to see the stars. So when we were out in the field and you
could
just
see
look up,
every single star. I was like, wow.
it was so relaxing. I just love it. It was nice. So, and then again, they also have snacks,
Yes. Some alcoholic beverages too.
alcoholic beverages. We'll post those on the Instagram. What did you have? You had some kind of pumpkin beer.
Mine was actually called the Alchemash, which was actually one of the monsters in the storyline.
yeah.
The Alchemash. Yeah. So that one was basically a pumpkin flavored beer. So pumpkin ale. They actually poured it over vanilla ice cream with whipped cream, sprinkles, and then they had a jelly eye. And then it has on the rims crushed Oreos. So it's basically, to me, it sounds like an adult root beer float.
Yeah, it looked good
know?
when she was making it.
So it was pretty good. And then the one you
What
had,
did I had something with
the
jelly in it.
Resurrection. Yours was called the Resurrection. That one actually had the sparkling wine, strawberry jam, and cherry grenadine in it, served in a syringe.
And yeah. I'm a lightweight, and
Yeah, so that was
I got
perfect for you.
sweats from that drink.
Yeah.
I was like, even though it was hot, but I was still like, oh my God, I'm hot. I'm
Yeah.
hot.
Definitely, I would recommend putting on some insect repellent for
Bug
sure.
spray. You're gonna
bug
need
spray.
it.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need it.
And wear some sort of closed-toe shoes, boots, any.
because you're still walking like in dirt and grounds and stuff in the grass. So definitely close shoes.
So the woman, when we were getting ready for our tour, she was like, make sure you stick together. And I have this long stick if we come across any animals.
Oh my God, I remember that.
And for some reason, they also give you a flashlight to
Yeah.
use while you're going on the experience. And I kind of like feel something on my arm. I look over and I put my flashlight to my arm, and there is the hugest fucking, what was it? Like a cricket?
It was a stick insect. What did they call it? It was the lady said it was a stick bug, and it was two of them.
It was like 5 fucking inches long.
It was big.
And
It
I was like,
big, and you
I need the
screamed
stick.
like,
I need the
"Ow."
stick. Hurry. And she's trying to swat it off, but it would not come
No,
off.
it
Somebody
wouldn't.
had to like pick it
Pick it
off
up.
of me.
That was
So,
funny.
Honestly, I was already scared from the get-go.
Oh my God, I remember that. That should have been part of the experience. Like, pay, do the upgrades, get scared by some insects and spiders, and you know.
It was so gross. I hate. You know what? I just hate insects. I hate bugs. I hate all that stuff.
I used to have a fear of cockroaches, like deathly fear.
Well, you live in the wrong state.
That's what I'm saying, because I remember growing up and I would like see them and I was screaming. I remember one day my uncle, he's like, "Stop being a sissy," because I literally jumped on the couch and screamed at such a high pitch I didn't even realize. So who'd I be calling?
I guess that's my iPad. I don't know.
But yeah, so it was like I was surprised with all the screaming that I did. But yeah, so now I just kind of got over my fear, and I'm like the roach terminator now, killing all these roaches.
Knock on wood, I've only seen a few roaches here in my house. And it's
Yeah.
always around the time when the weather changes.
I was gonna say when it rains a
That's
lot, that's
it.
when they come out.
When it gets that first cold or when it rains, I'll find like one in here.
Those are supposedly like more. They're not roaches. They're part of the roach family, the cicadas. They're supposedly a little bit different.
Yeah,
from
they're
actual
kind of big.
roaches.
They're like
Yeah.
this, but I've never seen other cockroaches in my house.
That's so funny. The other
God.
day, at my house after it rained, since I live in downtown, and there's a bunch of like trees and like there's lakes everywhere by me and stuff. So my roommate was sitting in the living room, and like I was in the kitchen washing dishes, and then like out of the blues I hear like a huge scream, and I'm like what the hell is going on? And then my roommate's like, "Oh my God, a roach!" And like it flew on his face.
Oh, on his face.
It flew on his face because he actually did grocery shopping and he left the door open, and after it rained and stuff, so it probably came in when it rained after while he was putting all his stuff up, and like it flew in his face and he just had the biggest scream, and then like I had to go out there and find it and kill the damn roach, but it was hilarious.
Ugh.
It was just hilarious to hear him screech like that. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting. Like so far, these haunted houses and experiences.
Are you
that I've done so
normally a
far.
Halloween person?
I do like Halloween. I just don't necessarily do a lot of like the Halloween themed things. Like besides Halloween Horror Nights or Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens. But
Oh yeah, I went to not Halloween Horror Nights. I went to Hallow Scream. It's the first year that we're having it here in Orlando, and it was
SeaWorld.
amazing. I had no expectations
Mhm.
because it was the first year, and I also feel like it's just something they're doing to kind of allow people to experience it more without so many crowds at the Tampa one.
Yes, it's convenient because I mean, even
Oh,
though
it's
Tampa's
so
not
nice.
far, but it's still convenient to have
Because
that here.
I went one time to the one in Tampa years ago, but it's like at this point I don't want to stay there till 1 a.m. and then drive all the way back to
yeah.
Orlando. So it's so nice to have it in our backyard.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on this one. It was good. As of right now, like I just went one of the last days of September. I'm guessing it'll get more busy closer to Halloween.
Oh yeah.
But we did all 4 houses and the shows at a nice leisurely pace.
And you got to do some of the rides too?
No, we didn't do any rides.
Were they open?
They
though,
were
or no?
open.
Okay.
Just thinking about it, I didn't do any rides. Like, I guess no one in my party was interested in rides because we just were focused on the Halloween stuff. But the shows they had were friggin' amazing.
Okay.
Like, they were so good. Everything was awesome. I loved how they transformed the park. So definitely give that one a go. It's cheap too. It's not that expensive.
It's like it was starting like at $41, $42 or something like that.
Yeah, so
Did
cheap.
they also have scare zones too, like Halloween Horror
Yep, they
Nights?
also
Okay.
had scare zones.
Okay, I might have to check that one out then, cause
I was thinking, I asked them if I could upgrade my single ticket to a pass, and I think I might do that.
really,
If you want to go, or if
Let's
some other
go.
people want to go again, I'll go again.
all right,
It was
I'll be down to
good.
go.
So
Just look at your schedule and stuff, and that way we can coordinate it.
definitely.
Yeah, I'll be down. Because that one,
So
like you said, it's new, so hopefully they'll keep it around. I'm sure that if it's successful,
they'll do
They'll
it.
keep it.
Yeah.
But that's cool, like you said, that they're doing it for
A
the
pro
first time
tip
this
though,
year.
if you're going, so they have a separate entrance because they have day guests, and then the Halloween event starts at 7.
Yeah.
So they've created a special entrance just for Hallow Scream, kind of more down past ports of entry, if you're
Okay.
familiar with SeaWorld. If you're coming in through that entrance, they do not allow you to take any bags.
Really?
So leave everything in the car because they will not let you in. Now, if you're going through the main entrance and you've been there for the day and
That's
then you're
different.
just staying for the rest of the day, they don't care about bags. But in the Halloween entrance, no bags. Pro tip.
Good pro tip for sure.
All right. Anything else that we have to cover?
No, I think we got it covered. Stay tuned, guys. We got to, like I said, we have our guest speaker coming up. So we'll be talking about other really cool Halloween things. And hopefully we can do some last minute magical dining as well before it fully ends. And let's see what this October. There's a lot of cool things going on. So I'm looking forward
I have
to
a whole bunch more things on my list too.
Yeah.
Stuff that I'm not even actually going to get to before we speak with Dina. But, we'll still have lots to talk about next week.
Absolutely.
All right,
Stay tuned, guys. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.